No bullshit news.
That's why Duggan is the mayor. People didn't go out and vote.
I was trying to find out if he was living in the mansion, which Charlie told me he wasn't, so I put a private eye to find out if he was.
No bullshit
You hear that,
news.
Charlie?
It's a big corruption umbrella.
Okay.
And what he is there's white justice and black justice.
I could live 10,000 lifetimes and never live up to the name of the Honorable Coleman Young.
It's hard when we pay our taxes, our property taxes and everything, and it gets turned around and put into for development profit.
No bullshit news.
What's up, Langton?
Joey, what's up? Hey, what's going on?
Hey, Joey, how are these levels? Is it my headphones?
Doing all right here?
Everything's looking good over
All right,
here.
we're good.
Sounded good. I like the music here. I'm ready to go now.
Adventures, remember?
Yeah, dude. I was a big Batman fan from way back. The old Adam West one. Burt Ward, the Riddler.
Yeah, the Simon Romero.
Oh, the old stuff. I've got the old, and the music. I used to love that stuff back in the 60s.
The Batman show.
Batman show, the real one, not the one with all the cars, not the fancy
And he had the
one.
bulge in the underpants, the cod piece.
This is the best movie ever. Robin.
Welcome in, Charlie Langton.
Charlie LaDuff, I'm having fun here today.
How do I introduce you, man? You do more jobs than a Jamaican. What
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what? I tell you, I was a lawyer way back when, and I just started doing this media stuff, and it's kind of fun. That's all I'm doing. I'm just having some fun. I tell you, I steal from people I like, and I just I like it. It's kind of fun going out on a story or making something. It's different. It's a little different way of practicing law. You have to know a little bit.
what kind of lawyer are you or were you?
I did a lot of personal injury stuff. I did a lot of depositions.
So wait, you're a slip and fall lawyer.
Slip and fall, like.
So wait a minute. The
Morris,
Fox 2 legal analyst is really a slip and fall lawyer?
Well, I've done a lot of other things too, though. I ran the firm. I did appellate work. I did criminal work. I did a whole bunch of stuff, though. But we made most of our money, though, doing no-fault cases, auto cases, workers' comp cases, Social Security disability cases.
You still doing it?
No, not too much. And you know what? I am, but I refer it to other people. I don't have time. I get up at 3:15 in the morning. I'm tired. And then we did a lot of RIP last night, and so I got to bed about midnight, and I was up at 3:30. I slept in a little bit. So I'm getting about 3-4 hours of sleep at night.
So, wait, what are your jobs? You're on
Fox 2.
Fox 2 as a reporter.
So let me start in the morning. I go WWJ. So Monday through Friday, I go WWJ, and usually I'll go out and cover something, a barricade, a gunman, a fire, or whatever, which is all new to me. I love it. Talking to the cops. Cops are great people. Firefighters are great people. They know stuff.
You're now realizing that police are the meat and potatoes of reporters. They're like cousins.
I tell you, you're right. I never noticed it before. I never knew it before. I always thought that, because if you're not in the streets, it's a whole different perspective out there. You get these press conferences, even by the mayor. It's so staged. It's corporate vomit, is what I call it. That's what I call it. I call it.
It is.
But what it is, and I hate it when Dan Gilbert or the Illiches. Everything is so nice, and everything. No, go to the streets and talk to a cop that is worried that if the bullets are going to come over him or whatever. But those guys, I have an absolutely new respect for cops. It's a tough job. They don't get paid anything. It's dangerous. The hours are lousy, and I respect that, but they still want to go out there and do it. So I learned a lot. I've learned a ton doing that. But I go from WWJ, then I go over to Fox 2, put together a couple stories.
A couple?
Two. I'd usually do two.
Two stories in one day.
Yeah.
After the radio.
After the radio.
Which is shit. Let's be honest.
Well, I like the radio. It's fun, though. It gets me out there.
I mean, get you going. You're a wild guy. You got high energy, right? But you
was
can
all
never
over
really
it.
get into anything.
No, you're right. I get in the radio, they give me 30 seconds to do a story. If I do an interview, they give me 40 seconds. So you're right. I can't do a documentary on something, but I can go out and give the news that's happening right this moment. Right now, is there a value to that? Yes. It's quick. It's easy. It's not an in-depth story. I'm not going to ponder what's going on, how the big picture stuff. Doing radio, but I'll tell you, it exposes me to a lot of people, and I've met a lot of people.
So you're a people guy. You like
So
that.
I like the people, and I like that. I don't mind doing something that's quick because you still have to get.
But
the
then
story
again,
right.
you can say you're like me. You know. I'm going to say this for me. You don't have to say it.
Yeah.
But the medium's turned to garbage. It's turned to shit because it's superficial. You got to come. You got to go. You got to do too. People are leaving TV in droves. And if you want them to stay, it's got to have a little something.
You're talking about the viewers now, right?
Yes.
Okay, but maybe.
So when I'm at the Illich,
Yeah.
press conference, I'm always hunting around for the angle.
Me too. So even I'll just tell you an
Like Dan
example.
Gilbert. You know Dan Gilbert.
I do. Yeah.
Did you ever get a picture of his shoes?
No, never did.
The guy's so short, he wears 3-inch gum heels to look taller. I might just tell my camera guy, get in on those shoes. Just because the reason we're convened here is bullshit. I don't want to project bullshit, and we might as well show the people.
But does
the
he have a
sauce.
sense of humor? I don't know him that well, but can he have a sense of humor? Will he actually talk about something that is moderately interesting?
Does it
Would he do
matter?
your show? Yes, I think it would.
I don't know, Dan. Will you do the show?
If he's out there listening, you know what? I bet he would.
Oh,
I bet he
and
would.
by the way, as is our custom here, Mr. Mayor, you are always invited. Come on, the no bullshit news.
You know what's
hour.
good
No
about
time, anytime,
but-
anywhere.
I know, but you know what? Though some of the things, though, here's the deal on a $100 million for 100 miles of road. Think about it, it's $1 million a mile. But nevertheless, so the trick to doing that story is don't talk to necessarily to the people. Talk to the neighbor across the street. What do you think? Go up on the plow that's plowing up the road. Do something different. I think if people are leaving television, radio to some extent, they're leaving it because it's boring. It's boring.
All you out there, you know it.
And, but there's a way to make it interesting. And you don't have to be crazy, but you can find people. The people make the story. Often I'll start a story off with a quote. Now, if these people have a little funny voice, they say something outrageous, let's get your attention. And I like that. Now we're talking about a slice in time, a moment in time that's interesting. And yes, there's a background of a multi-million-dollar project or some development or some whatever. And to me, it's entertaining. I do think both radio and television has got to be entertaining. More so now than maybe ever before because the public has so many choices.
But you know what this
No
means?
choices.
This means you got to work harder because they also want to be informed, right? And so I always approached it like these things are not daily news stories. This is a piece of an ongoing soap opera.
But when you did your stories, though, it was fun. No shame in my game. But you went up there, and the way you stood, you had also your camera. You had 2-shot on you and the judge, for example, in this one, and your facial expressions. And you had the camera guy focus on the two of you. That's interesting. It's a different way, as opposed to just doing the single shot on the interviewee. I don't know it.
My trick was always this, coming new to TV, was I know that through that camera lens, it's projected in the living room. So that basically between me and the woman and the guy in the living room is just a thin piece of glass. Yeah. So you're there with me. So when I'm talking to some asshole politician who's lying, and the first part of the story, we've set it up. Yeah. Here's the truth. And then when our colleagues and countrymen and neighbors in the living room hear the bullshit come out of their voice, you just kind of turn to the camera.
Yes, just
look into the glass, look into the living room and say, just with your roll of your eyes, like, you hearing this bullshit?
You don't need to say anything. Exactly. But not a lot of people are doing that, though. And I think it's interesting that way. It's interesting.
Hey, listen, I know you like. Okay, so
you like wine?
Then you do Fox 2, and then you do Let It Rip, and you do Fox 2 weekends.
Yeah.
So your wife's not getting much sex, I'm assuming, if she ever did.
Oh,
Your Honor, I apologize.
Yes, I know. Yes, a good thing we don't have the death penalty in this state. But you know what? We don't see each other a lot. Sometimes
makes for a good marriage. Sometimes
it does. But I get home late, and you know what? Sometimes we'll have a bottle of wine, and you brought some wine here.
I did. I know you're a wine snob, so
I like wine.
You love it. You go on wine trips.
I did.
Okay, we'll work the bottle. Well, let me take care of some business. Let me just let everybody know what's on the show today. The rape of regular Joe. Yet another billionaire, this time Fiat Chrysler, with its hand out. Question is, can Detroit afford the rich? Then a word from G.I. Joe. The Pentagon says 71% of millennials are too drunk, too fat, and too stupid to serve in the armed forces. Our youth are good at Fortnite, but what does that mean for national security? Joining us will be Sergeant Tommy Isola, my old Marine pal from Iraq. He'll join us in the middle of the show. And then, of course, Chicken Joe DeMarco, our 59-year-old intern, goes to the ethics court. The county treasurer, Eric Sabri, who Charlie Langton knows, is accused of enriching his family and friends. What does he have to say for himself? But first, let's do a little business. David Hall. Oh, what's that, Joe?
Hall Financial Hotline.
Woo! Hall Financial Hotline. David Hall took a chance on my brother Drew Lane in his Drew and Mike podcast back in 2016. And that's led to many listeners saving money on their mortgages and refinances. Now Hall Financial is putting its support behind the No Bullshit News Hour and the Red Shovel Network. So thank you, David. Hall Financial offers lower rates, better options, and that personal attention you want when talking about your home. The average refi takes 44 days. Hall Financial averages 19 days. Do the math. That's half the time. Email dhall@hallfg.com to get the paper moving or call 248-308-5000. Thank you, Charlie. Or maybe you just want to take equity out of your home or shorten the length of your mortgage. You could be less.
Do you hate reading this stuff?
No,
I
no.
can't interrupt you on this.
No, let me finish it and then I'll go on. You could be less than 3 weeks from saving money with Hall Financial. Email dealhall@hallfg.com or call 248-308-5000. Tell him you heard it on No BS News because I appreciate him giving us and the network a shot. NMLS number 1467435. That's the legal part of it. Hall Financial. You won't be disappointed. No, Charlie. Anybody on this show, I've met him. I like him. I won't support somebody who supports me that I don't believe in. And
I don't know David Hall. I'm sure he's a nice guy, but
Yeah.
do you hate reading the commercials though?
no, I just hate them when they're kind of lousy copy. You know, when they don't read right. But I fixed them all this week.
You fixed them.
Here, let's cheers to you.
Cheers. Cheers.
Maybe you can tell us all what's the proper way to taste some wine. But let me knock this one out.
Oh, knock that one out. That's good.
American Coney Island celebrating 102 years. See, you like it.
I like this one.
It is Detroit's oldest family-run restaurant and birthplace of the famous Detroit Coney dog with chili, mustard, and Vidalia onions, and it is my personal favorite. That's no bullshit. You want a piece of Detroit? Head downtown to the corner of Lafayette and Michigan Avenue. Can't miss it. It's the red, white, and blue building shaped like a slice of pie. Always delicious, always open, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The dogs snap when you bite them, and the chili is a 102-year-old family recipe made especially for the American Coney dog. And the beer is cold, Charlie.
Did you write that?
Yes, I did.
Dogs snap and you bite them. That's good stuff.
Visit the Detroit restaurant or the one in the D Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, or, hey, dads, the Detroit Zoo. They sell beer there, too. Or order a Coney Island kit straight to you, your, or a friend's door. Go to AmericanConeyIsland.com. Every reporter in the world loves that place.
Love that place.
It's clean. It's delicious. Now, real quickly, Charlie.
Go ahead. I get my Conies, by the way. It's mustard only. That's it. Love it. Yeah. Yeah. Don't put the sauce on it.
So, yeah, I mean, it's lower calories. I like them plain sometimes. So you can really...
You can taste the hot dog.
It's a sausage.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, it's
they have their secret recipe, don't they?
It's their
is
own.
it Dearborn?
Dearborn sausage makes their recipe. Nobody else has that. That's the unknown thing, as is the chili. It's not mass produced.
No.
That's why it's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff.
You know, now, real quickly, because we got to get to a little bit of local news here.
Go ahead.
What's a good wine, Charlie?
This is a Cabernet. This is good wine. It's good wine.
How do you know what a good wine is?
It tastes good. If it tastes good, if
you
you
like it.
Yeah, and if you don't get too much of a hangover the next morning. but
It's
yeah,
too late
no,
by then.
there is it's too late. The next time, you know. No, it's a good wine if it tastes good. If it's not too overpowering, if it's not too light. I mean, you've got to have a flavor to it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big one for majorly expensive wines. I do like some expensive wines, but there's some good wines that are $2 that are great.
You know how to open it up to see if it's got a bouquet, if it's body. You chew it.
You chew it. Okay.
Yeah, or you do Listerine to it, and it really try that. Go ahead.
No, let's do it right now.
Yeah. Now,
Some chew.
see how
chew
big
back.
that gets?
That's pretty good.
Your mouth really fills up.
Yeah, I just drink it.
Hey, listen, man. You know what I hate being called? Charlie Langton.
I get LaDuff all the time. I'm
That's-
okay with that.
That's
I'm okay
it's hard
with
to live
that.
up to, man.
I'm okay with that.
But the worst thing in the world is being called Rob Olchek.
Oh,
Hey, Holly Sheen! Yeah.
I've had that.
And speaking of ripping people off, I learned from that guy.
Rob Walchuk?
I-
Sure.
If I was running the news, I'd put him on politics.
I think he does a good job.
He does. He's a great writer.
He's a very good writer. Yeah. Yeah. When you have a lot of time, the other thing about doing daily news, sometimes you can't, you're just the time. You just got to watch that clock. So a lot of times you're doing a quick story. Unfortunately, a little frustrating sometimes. I know I could do this better. I know I could do this better. In fact, a lot of times I know I could do it better. Give me another hour, 2 hours, or give me something that I just wish I had.
See, I believe like local news, we're doing news here, but I believe there's a new way to do it. And the way that I would do it, and you don't like it because you want to get home, instead of doing 2 dog shit stories a day,
one good.
One reported all day. So at the 5 o'clock hour, you're live with the produced package. Can you play that? At the 5:30 hour, you're live, but it's just a little sound bite, and it's your reporter's interpretation like they do on cable. You're talking a lot.
Yeah.
Then at the 6, you replay it because a new audience is coming home for dinner, like you did the 5. And then the 6:30, you're basically giving your interpretation again of you, the reporter on the ground. That way, it stops you from being run ragged.
Yeah.
It makes what you're reporting important, and it gives extra context. I think that's the way to do it.
I think that would be good. Some of the stories that I like, if I'm doing a no-fault story, it's a big debate of no-fault.
Yeah, it's a big, meaty story.
So I like that no-fault one. The Eric Smith story about the prosecutor and that's all the forfeiture assets. What's that about? So I wouldn't mind talking about that. So I've convinced him to do a couple stories just to find what is forfeiture asset, what is it,
Exactly.
and where should the money go.
So if we go like that's what you do at 6, but you don't have to prepare pictures for it.
Yes.
This is what we know about asset forfeiture, because Drew was asking me about it before the show. He wants to know about it. Then the next half hour, here's the event today.
Yeah.
They raided him. It's an ongoing investigation. Stay tuned in the next half hour as we break down what it is.
I think that'd be great.
And I know reporters are they hate doing those 2-a-days. And so does the audience.
Yeah.
Because I don't need a rollover accident and a murder and a pothole and a dog. Well, my kid likes the dog story.
The dogs do really well, but it's hard to do this story super. We do it, we do it. But I would much rather have a give or take. If you'll let's just do a dialogue. Ask me some questions. No fault. Do you know what no fault all about? I mean, really, there's coordinated coverage. It's a big deal. If you get in a car accident, what happens? I think having that background would inform the public more. And I like doing that. Before I got to doing these 2-a-day stories, they would put me on even the Kwame story way back in the day, or Stephen Grant way back in the day. Just ask me questions about the procedure, if nothing else, or the personalities of some of these court proceedings. I mean, at this point, I know a lot of the judges, the lawyers, the strategy is what I'm concerned. What does the defense have to do to win this case? Or what does the prosecutor have to do to win this case?
And that's interesting
that's
to
kind
people.
Of fun.
That's interesting to people.
I think it's kind of fun.
And
interesting.
And again, we were doing the show about no fault last week, and Karen's really knowledgeable because she's worked in City Hall and was, pushing this thing years ago. But by the time we got to the end of it, didn't know if the insurance rates had to do with both the coverage on your car and personal injury, or this was just the personal injury portion.
It's the PIP portion. But a lot of things on PIP, though, is that if you get into
personal injury protection.
Personal injury protection. But what does that mean? So what does that mean? What does that mean? Give me an example. You get into a car accident today. Doesn't matter whose fault it is.
Right.
And you're hurt. Okay?
Cataclysmically.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter, actually.
Yeah. Well,
your own insurance company will pay for wages and medical. And there's no fault. All the discussion we're having only deals with the medical portion.
Yes.
So forget wages. There's a company called replacement services. Your own insurance company, regardless of fault. But in most policies, though, you will get a break on your premium if you coordinate the medical portion with your health carrier, often from work. So if my work has Blue Cross, which most of this world in Michigan does, Blue Cross, and I have AAA auto insurance, AAA will give me a break on my premium if Blue Cross becomes primary when I get into an accident and I need medical treatment. So I get into a car accident, I need an MRI, I need a doctor, Blue Cross pays everything. Not my no-fault carrier.
This is just shuffling shit, because then my Blue Cross is going to go up.
Yes. Where's Dan Lepp?
And then people that get hurt that don't have insurance, well, we got Crips rolling around that.
Doesn't matter. If people don't have insurance, Medicaid will pick it up, and that's
I don't know if Medicaid does it with auto.
If you're uninsured, it will. Sure. If you're uninsured, you're in problem. We're never going to let a person go without medical treatment in this country. It's not going to happen. But the cost of that is a problem.
Well, you
is
know
the
what?
problem.
I mean, talk to retired injured firefighters. Here's a couple $100. Good luck to you.
So here's the problem with those firefighters, because they do have a couple of bucks. So Medicaid says we're not going to. You have to spend down
Right.
your assets.
Right.
So we're not going to cover until you
outrageous.
get to be a poverty gut on the a slob on the street. Then we'll pick it up.
Yep.
And that's the real problem.
It's
for the people that are have some assets but not a lot.
This is who we're
It's that
advocating
middle
for.
income, lower middle income people that will get screwed with this no fault.
You got a time on? You got a clock? Beautiful. Okay, Charlie. So let's talk about money, right? Talk about the whole thing. Detroit firefighters. Big news locally. Chrysler Fiat deal, right?
Right.
FCA is promising $2.4 billion in investment and not 5,000 new jobs, 10,000 new jobs when you bore down into the numbers. They're promising 5,000 jobs at the factory and 5,000 spin-off jobs because of those 5,000 factory workers.
Suppliers, I guess.
Suppliers, Coney Islands, shoe shine guys.
Motels.
I don't know
bars.
if you've been to the plant down in Jefferson now, but there doesn't seem to be spin-off business. Or if you go over to Pole Town, there's not a lot of spin-off business. Here's the catch. You, the taxpayer, me, the taxpayer, you out there, the real number is we're going to fork over more than $320 million in today's money. Right. Today's money, okay? So next week's news today, we pride ourselves in this show. What is next week's news, next year's news today? Does this deal work for the public bank?
Okay, but
Charlie Langton.
But I have a question though, because I haven't studied this thing.
Ask me.
I will. That $320 million, is that an actual expenditure, or is that money that is not obtained in, say, tax benefits?
Most of it has nothing to do with taxes.
So what's the 300? What does it represent?
$160 million, like the
What is it though? Is it money that the
cash
general fund? It's coming out of the general fund of Detroit.
Well, they say it's not coming out of the general fund, but what the city of Detroit did, remember when they borrowed that $135 million, like late last year, and we're all doing jumping jacks? Detroit finally gets to borrow on its own. Woo! Yeah. And it's at junk bond rates. It's very high interest rate.
Right. True.
It comes out of that.
So what do they do? Is Detroit
we borrowed to
buying
assemble
the property for the taking and
from a billionaire to
acquiring all
give
these-
to a multinational corporation whose assets last year, net income, Fiat Chrysler, $4.1 billion.
So, but let me ask the question. Let's assume then that this money is 300, and I don't know the numbers, but it's 300.
$160 million in cash and incentives.
Got it.
$125 million in land.
That's to
$45
acquire-
million in interest.
That's to acquire the land,
That's
right?
to clean it up.
Put
the whole deal together.
Hold on. So from that, will they be able to charge then Fiat Chrysler in some kind of taxes of any kind?
Well, there's a lot of abatements here. There's like state abatements. There's city abatements. So
that's money that's not. That's a break on
keep this
income
interesting and easy for people to understand.
I understand, but I know what the one you set up. It sounds like we're screwing the taxpayer. I don't know that to be the case. Here's the deal: that land is wasteland. You were just there. It's a wasteland.
No,
there's
well,
nothing
there's
there.
there's a factory on there right now and one that's idle.
But there's going to be they're going to expand that one. They're going to build another one, and I'm understanding there's going to be
not build another one, but they're going to build. They're going to expand the complex.
But that's going to be good.
That's good. Good jobs are good.
That's good stuff. And
jobs are good.
And it's going to improve a land that's pretty much, other than the factory, it's pretty much wasteland over there.
Jobs are good. No, let's
jobs
go.
Are just talk
well, let's
about
go.
jobs.
Let's do the public bank though. Public bank. How you do your household finances. The projected net receipts from this whole deal now. From the city, by their own measurement, over 30 years, is about $320 million.
That the city's going to get?
Over 30 years.
All right, so you're saying it's spending, and I know $160 million today, and they're going to get
plus the land
30. So
$320 today.
It's not worth
$320 over 30 years. And remember what inflation does to your money.
You can't do that. That's what annuities do.
Plus, this is absolutely is guaranteeing us 10. This is predicated on 10,000 new jobs. The factory always going, always working at full capacity, and we all from Michigan know how the auto industry works.
Right.
Sometimes you retool.
So
sometimes you're laid off.
But the way, and again, I don't know the numbers. I know
those are real numbers.
No, I get it. But with those numbers, you're saying we're not making any money.
We're
That's
losing
what
money.
we're losing money. Actually,
The public's
Yes.
bank.
Public's bank. I understand.
Your neighbor, the auto worker? No, he's making money. So the question becomes, do we want to subsidize our neighbors? Maybe we do. Jobs are good, right?
Jobs are good.
This is what it's sold
What's
on.
the alternative, though? Is,
Well-
is GM or Fiat or Chrysler or Ford or any of them going to? They'll go to Ohio. They'll go to China. They'll go to somewhere else.
Belvedere, Illinois. They played Detroit against Belvedere, Illinois, where they created Chrysler product.
Here's the deal. There's so many.
Are they
people-
really going to go to Belvedere?
Who knows? But listen, I don't know this issue well enough. But what I do know, though, is that if there's an opportunity for jobs in Detroit,
Mm-hmm.
and I understand there's some community incentive portion to this package here, where you've got to give jobs to Detroit, you've got to train those people.
You got to
et
try to
cetera.
give jobs to Detroit. You got to interview Detroit.
Well, some of these are very high skilled jobs, so Detroiters have to be trained for them. They've got to qualify, etc.
Anybody living in Detroit with those kind of skills is employed. You get it?
Or they're not in Detroit, maybe.
Right.
All right. But they should create jobs. Anybody, to me, if you can create jobs, do it. Now, at what cost?
Well, that's called math. Again,
I
it's
understand.
called math. Is it in the public's
the movie
interest?
incentives argument, though, if you put enough money into the movie incentives, you're going to create some great movies, but you're not going to lose. You will lose money.
We're going to end up losing, but my neighbor will benefit. So is it worth it for me to subsidize my neighbor? Okay. Is it worth me?
I say
also-
it is. I say it is.
Okay, well, is
I
it
think
also
is.
worth me to subsidize a hockey arena? And also worth it, let's start doing, let me just put this in people's heads.
Gotcha.
And start subsidizing a skyscraper that will never be full. And subsidizing a train that is insolvent.
Right.
And a zoo. And an art museum.
You got to get
and a
Mike-
bus system.
You've got to get
and
Mike Duggan
and
here.
schools. There's only so much money in the public pot. There's no way around it. And if we haven't learned our lesson in this part of the world, we went broke. Where's the money to make sure we don't go broke? We have the police and fire to protect that factory when you're not paying in.
So is the alternative then to not give enough money to these billionaire types, or just don't do that and hope that they'll do it on their own?
It's a good question, right? Because it cat's out of the bag, and they're getting what it's crony capitalism. That's what we're living in. But remember something about Fiat Chrysler. You came to me already. You dipped into my pocket already. Yeah, I know you paid it back, right? But you got a nice little deal on that. When are you responsible? You can afford this because their booked profit, and we know creative accounting,
Right.
their taxable income was $4 billion last year. You can afford this plant. Do the right thing.
But how do you just got to create an incentive? And again, I don't know all. You're
Why
giving
not?
me the you're giving me
Why?
the numbers, but you've got to create some incentive.
This is
don't
the
you?
world This is Chrysler headquarters, right?
City-
A lot of the work here is already here.
I understand the city of Warren, all of these cities. Look at Oakland County. Brooks Patterson, if he was here, he'd tell you, you know what? We're losing some businesses because Detroit's giving some incentives away. There's
Right.
competition amongst these cities.
Yeah, but you see what's
So-
happening? We're killing ourselves, giving money to people that don't need it.
Well, are you killing the
Public bank.
public bank? But what about the jobs that are being created? So these people now that are they can make a living wage.
Watch this. The jobs that are being created
And they're working.
get to be taxed by the city at 2%.
Fine.
Okay? That doesn't equal what the city's giving them.
Well, you don't like the you don't like the math. But the concept is okay. Isn't
Math
it?
doesn't lie.
No, but you don't like the math.
Liars lie.
You don't like the math, but you like the concept though.
Oh, yeah.
Let me ask you this: if the city could give less money and create
Yes.
more revenue for the people,
Yes.
you'd love that.
100%.
So it's just the math you don't like, right?
Well, yeah.
Okay, the
Yeah.
job of the government is to
Yeah,
give
wait,
some jobs to these people.
what's this? What's this
People
here?
Need to make
Hold on.
need to work.
What I got here in my pocket? I got 20,
A lot of money there.
40, 60,
Woo!
61, 62. I got $65 here.
Okay. got
Okay.
it. Got
I'm going to hand it to you.
Want some more wine?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Got
I
it.
want you to hand it to Joey.
There, Joey.
Thank you.
Hand it back. Nothing happened.
Right.
That's math because we didn't do anything. The minimum, this better come back what I gave it to
Wait
you
a minute. You
at.
just said 10,000 jobs here.
Yeah, but think about that again. Where's the absolute promise of 10,000 jobs? 5,000
Well,
in
let's
the...
say 5,000 from Fiat Chrysler. We know that. We
Yeah.
agree on that.
But then Detroit, because I read the fine print, Detroit puts in their, just like Illich with his watercolors.
Right.
Detroit puts out graphs and charts with pies and blue colors.
That's corporate vomit, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's corporate vomit.
That's okay.
The assumption is we're going to, over 30 years, don't forget, a dollar today is worth 50 cents in 30 years.
Oh, less than that, probably.
Okay.
Okay.
The assumption is the ancillary taxes, the tax revenues from things from this factory will be 140 million. That's just bullshit math. Let's pretend it's zero, just so we're certain.
Okay.
Okay? Everything else is gravy. Even with that phony number, we don't break even. I spend a lot of time in the city. We don't got enough.
What's your solution? What's your solution? It seems to me, just conceptually here,
Yes.
Fiat Chrysler wants to invest. They want to expand their product. They've got to move into new product. They've got to get into autonomous cars. They've got to driverless, all that stuff. So they want to expand. Apparently, they feel the city of Detroit's okay to do it in.
Yeah.
What would you do if you were mayor? Would you say, hey, we've got some property here, but it's private property, so we'd have to buy the property, or would you encourage Fiat Chrysler to go and buy the property?
you pay for it. And you know what? I can do a sweetener. They buy it from the billionaire. If you got to tweak the billionaires, like we do have some properties that are abandoned that you're interested in, you can have that. But we're not paying the cash, right? The other thing I can do is get the red tape out of the way, the cleanup.
That's for sure, yeah,
right?
that's
The other part, I don't care about. Well, I do care, but as someone in working the deal. Right. No, you don't need to hire 51% of the people from Detroit because 51% of your employees don't even live there. So what I will do, instead of requiring you to load up your balance sheet with useless jobs, is I'll give you a bonus for everybody in Detroit that you do hire. But there's no requirement that it be the majority Detroit.
Where does that money come from? The bonus?
Okay, well, it's less than requiring 51% of the people.
The bonus goes back to Fiat Chrysler.
Sure,
if they hire a Detroit worker,
right,
who makes $50,000 a year, $100,000, whatever they're
right.
gonna pay him.
There you go.
Okay,
there you go.
All right, is that incentive?
And then you can hit. You want to pay for it? You tax the worker from Detroit.
So you want Fiat Chrysler to go and buy all the private land?
Do it like you used to do it, Fiat. And Chrysler and GM and...
Isn't that what Matty Maroon was doing? Matty Maroon was actually buying up private land, and he had a whole...
Bada bing. He's smart.
He's very smart.
Very smart.
He's extremely... That's exactly what he was doing. Waiting for the opportunity to do something with that land. Now, Fiat Chrysler says, hey, we need the land, Matty Maroon. Pay him. Who do you think made out
I
of
know
this deal?
Matty Maroon. Matty Maroon, for the listener, is a big international trucking magnate. He makes his money on shipping, but he also owns the Ambassador Bridge. He came up, a good friend of his was Jimmy Hoffa. This guy's hard as nails. He's in his 90s. His son Matthew's running the company now. They own the train station, made a good deal with Ford. That's who they are. Right. But I know Matty Maroon, and I know Matthew, and I've looked at their war room and their chart and their global thought here. And he's smart because he picks the future. Okay, Chrysler's over here. This deal did not just pop up. This deal's 10 years.
I'm sure it is.
10 years in the making.
I'm sure it is.
Right? The public got the worst possible piece of it. But Matty Maroon knew probably right there. And on the waterfront, right there next to the bridge, and right there next to the train tunnel.
Property in Delray probably is worth nothing until they built that bridge, or until they started making that bridge.
We're going to move along to the next thing, but watch this. Here's the other part. Speaking of Matty Maroon, Matthew Maroon, the bridge. You heard anything on the Canadian bridge, the Gordie Howe? No. So watch this. More bullshit that the media seals flapped their flippers together, ate the sardine. Where is it? Because Canada's broke. This is a huge boondoggle. If they actually decide to pay for it all, it'll be a money loser. But unlike our people, Canada's dragging its feet like, I don't know if that's a good investment.
Well, I understand.
They're smart up there.
Smart. Yeah, well, Canada's supposed to be paying for this, though.
But there's no budget for it.
I don't know.
What they do is they're trying to save face, to me, I think, and they just every 6 months, and they'll probably do it after they hear the No Bullshit News Hour, next week's news today. They'll push more dirt around, say something's coming, and it doesn't come. Maroon's an animal.
He's smart.
Yeah,
he's genius,
and he doesn't really take government handouts. Although he got a nice deal here. Yeah. All right, let me get to some business. Hey, can you, my brother, Joey, can you call the Sarge? Okay.
Do a commercial. You have a commercial?
I got a couple commercials here. We got music from. Oh, look, Joey is like, young man, you're going places.
It's not from the city of Detroit, though. They're not sponsoring this, are they? No.
Luke Nowacki. You know what?
I don't know him.
Maybe you're a big-time city official who could travel with your entourage on the people's dime. Maybe you can hook your girlfriend up with government contracts.
Woo.
But if you're not among the elite who can make your pals' pockets fat off the taxpayers' back, you're going to have to provide for your own retirement and theirs and the girlfriends. Yes. Say it. If you have any questions whether or not you, little man, regular man, real woman, if you are on the right track, please call financial specialist Luke Nowacki at 248-663-4748. Grow your assets from pension planning to college savings plans to retirement. Your politicians are depending on you, as are all the first responders that got screwed in this bankruptcy. That's Luke Nowacki, 248-663-4748. I cannot tell you how generous the man is. I'm not allowed to. He cares. He cares. Man, he's a really good dude. I'm doing my personal finances with him.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I can do the legal part here. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Royal Lawrence Associates, Inc., member of FISIPC. Royal Lawrence Associates, Inc. is separately owned, and other entities and our marketing names, products, services, members here are independent of Royal Lawrence Associates, Inc.
There you go. That's legal. Sounds
And
good.
of course, thank you.
Sounds good.
It's been vetted. Hey,
Why not?
let me ask you right now.
Yeah.
We've got a White House correspondent, a congressional correspondent. We got a border correspondent. We have a correspondent in Chicago. We have City Hall in Detroit correspondents. We have a pollster.
Yeah.
We have a marijuana correspondent.
Yeah.
Would you here today
Yeah.
make the announcement that you will be the No Bullshit News Hour legal correspondent?
Call me. Yes, I will. But if I may
That was a yes.
That was a yes, but I may have some other jobs obligations. But yes, put the answer down as yes.
Yes.
Yeah, this is
great.
fun. You heard it.
Gonna
Right
send you a Coney kit, dude.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And a T-shirt.
All right, that's what I want.
But I want to tell you about Dr. Yaldo.
Yeah.
You hate your reading glasses? Do you?
Yes.
Yes. You hate your bifocals?
Well, yes.
You forget them?
Yes.
You lose them?
Yes.
You break them?
No. But go
Okay.
ahead. Close
But
enough.
you
Two out-
lose
two
them.
out of three ain't bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'd give anything not to need them anymore?
You know, I don't know. Yes, of course. Yes, I would.
Okay, well, you can
Absolutely,
be done with those old-fashioned technologies, Charlie. Dr. Yaldo has helped over 50,000 metro area people get 20/20 vision or better with what's called CATS Custom LASIK, the most advanced in the world. I went in there. They explained the science to you. That's CATS Custom LASIK, the most advanced in the world, and the amazing multifocal lens implants for people 50 plus. It will give you great near and far vision for life, and you'll never get cataracts.
I like your glasses, by the way.
Thank you. They're my wife's, and I had a crazy glow. But I'm going back to Yaldo in August.
Sure.
No matter what, everyone should get an eye exam, and regular insurance covers it. And see if LASIK or multifocal lens implants are right for you. That evaluation is free. Call 1-800-398-EYES and say LaDuff sent you, and you'll get the no bullshit discount. That's 800-398-EYES, or go to YaldoEyeCenter.com.
Beautiful.
All right.
Beautiful. Yeah.
You gonna go?
I might.
Call them. Because I get a little something. Everybody.
Oh, do you get a little kickback on it?
Yeah.
Good.
A little kickback.
Okay. All right. That's right. It's the way of the
This is
world.
Detroit.
Why not? That's right.
Okay, listen, man. Let's go internationally here. All right. Big news in the world: the United States is ratcheting up pressure on Iran. You know about this.
Yep.
Some are worrying that we're laying the groundwork for yet another war in the Middle East. This at the same time that, according to a Pentagon report, dig this: 71% of Americans, young people. 71% of America's young people are ineligible for military service because, 1, obesity, 2, lack of a GED, 3, criminal record.
Crazy.
So that's, as one great philosopher once said,
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
it's Animal House. Okay, so I was on Fox News with Martha McCallum this week to discuss that very subject and promote the paperback release of my latest book.
What is it called again?
Shit Show. The country's collapsing and the ratings are great. And let me say this. You can get a signed copy of my book, autographed copy, from our website. Go to nobsnews.com, or you can just get a regular book at Amazon.
How much is it?
Let's see. I don't know.
Whatever it is, it's worth it.
Fuck yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah.
It's
autographed too. No,
it's the only book from the streets.
Yeah. And nothing extra for the autograph.
No.
It's going to be valuable.
It's
you've got a lot of memorabilia in this studio here.
It's not my studio. In the lower level. Okay, anyway, here's my talk with Martha McCallum this past Wednesday.
71% of young adults aged 17 to 24 are ineligible to serve in the military. Put another way, out of all the young people in this country, less than 1/3 are eligible to serve. So why is that? Why so many? These 3 reasons: obesity, lack of a high school diploma, or an existing criminal record. 71% of 17 to 24-year-olds, according to the Pentagon. I mean, I just think that number is absolutely incredible. Joining me now is Charlie LaDuff, a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist and author of S Show. You fill in the blanks.
She said pubic.
The country's collapsing and the ratings are great is the subtitle. Charlie, good to see you back on the show. Thanks for being here tonight. What's your reaction to those
Martha.
numbers? I was floored when I saw that number this morning.
Well, I'm from a military family, so I remember the movie Animal House?
Yeah.
Remember Dean Wormer?
Yes.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, young man. That's pretty much what it is. Much of that has to do with health, which is also asthma, bad eyes, and all of that. But it's being fat. We don't eat right. We don't exercise. Our kids stare at screens. We commit crimes. About 10% of that, 1/10 is because people commit serious felonies or serious misdemeanors. And then what's not in there is drug use. Military won't take you if you're a drug user, so you have opioids, marijuana. So it's probably even less than 29%. So this creates a huge problem for the well-being and security of the country.
Yeah. I mean, you know, the Pentagon says, you know, that number is so small, that 29% of eligible young people. So they're battling with business, you know, and the other options that these young people can do to get people to join the military. I mean, I guess in some ways it's good news for the 29% because they're definitely going to get a job and they're in very high demand. But, you know, what choices are they going to make and which way do they want to go? And what does that mean for our security?
What does that just mean for the country? I mean, look, machines are taking over. You know what kind of warriors we're raising? Are the joystick warriors with the bag of Doritos. That's so about pathetic. What young people are. It is. But think about this. About 300,000 people will actually, of the group that's eligible, right, the 29, will actually talk to the military. So the pool you've got each year for recruiting is 300,000?
Yeah. You know what's I'm sorry. What strikes me is we've been doing a lot of segments on World War II leading up to the 75th anniversary of D-Day, and you think about how for so many of those young men, they will tell you, look, this was my way up and out. You know, I wanted to, you know, get an education. They got education afterwards. And this was a way that I could sort of make my mark in the world. They had that ambition to do that no matter what their circumstances were.
Well, you know, my stepdad was a World War II vet, and it was just a matter of pride to serve his country. Yeah. My father was a Nam vet, and he straightened his life out. You know what I mean? The military did that for him. So that's where I'm coming from. So when I was in Iraq, and I was fortunate enough to be able to leave, think about this. Since 9/11, each soldier has done on average 2 tours in Afghanistan or Iraq or both. 20% have done 3 tours. 50,000 soldiers have done 4 tours or more. So who's carrying the burden? Since nobody wants to get off the couch, crack the books, or, you know, keep your finger out of other people's cars, what's this leave us? It's this really serious problem. So we're going to have to build robots, artificial intelligence, to do our fighting. And now look at the news. Look at Iran. Look what's going on in the Straits. What are we going to do? Send the same people over? See, young people, you got to wipe your nose, do a couple of push-ups, read a book. It's good for you. I like young people, but it's...
I do too. I know. Charlie, I hear you.
Like
and you know, it's very dark news, but I hope somebody out there listens to this and they look at their child and they say, you know, let's turn your life around. Not that everyone has to go into the military, but let's, you know, get off the couch. Let's try to keep, you know, ourselves out of jail, and let's finish high school, and let's make a good life for ourselves. And for some of them, they will also choose to serve their country. These numbers are shocking. Charlie, thank you very much. You're a great sociologist and journalist, and it's great to see you tonight. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, Martha.
You bet.
Ooh. Yeah. Hey, yeah, hoorah! Sergeant, you on the line?
No, I'm here.
My man, listen, I want to welcome my old pal, retired Staff Sergeant Tommy Isola from Roseville in the house. We were in Iraq together during the invasion. He is a Marine, me as a reporter. What's up, blood?
Not much. How you doing, Charlie?
Hey, you ever talk to Charlie Langton?
Hey, Tommy,
Yeah,
how are you?
Good. Charlie, I ran into you at that chili cook-off at the Detroit Zoo.
I remember it. Yes, I remember.
You don't remember Tommy?
I remember Tommy, but I remember the chili cook-off though.
Tommy, true blue.
I remember the first part of it anyway. The chili cook-off.
So, Tommy, shit, man. Okay, God, there's just so much we could do here. Like you are now.
I know, but dude, just listening to that segment right there, that blows my mind.
Why?
Because Charlie, growing up, I never once just sat there. I was a kid always out doing stuff, for one. Okay? And two, our commander-in-chief in the Obama administration, so the commander-in-chief at the time, started putting some heavy-duty restraints on retention. So you had good Marines that were kind of, so to say, forced out.
Yeah, they're trying to pare back the military, the sort of low hangers at the bottom end of the spectrum. They want them to retire and get out, right?
Right. So you
whittle down the military.
So now you're looking at trying to get people in that you can't get in, but you kick people out that wanted to stay in.
Yep. Well, that's that. But let me do that. Yes. So, not to go to the politics. Here's the deal, Tommy. You're working in an auto factory in Macomb County. You're a white man. You're a veteran. I say all this with pride. They're going to spend about $5,000, $10,000 to get your vote. You're like the target audience. So tell me, bro.
Yeah.
We're in Iraq together.
Yeah.
You did your service. What was it for? What did we do there? Be honest, man. No bullshit. This is no bullshit news.
Right. So, Charlie, I remember we were doing a retrograde on the way back.
What's a retrograde?
Retrograde is when we wrap up our deployment and we were starting to go back to Kuwait to get back on our ship because we were already out. By the time we got back to Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, we were out for 9 months. So we were starting to get back so we could get our butts back over to Camp Lejeune. We were all sitting around on the beach in Kuwait talking to our sergeant major. And I sat there and I'm listening to everything everyone's talking about. And it just kind of had one of those, wait a minute moment. what the hell's going on? So then I asked the question because no one else was going to. And I look around, I'm like, Sergeant Major, what did we do? And then everyone just kind of and gasped because I asked the question. I'm like, I get we may have secured a route to Baghdad. We may have, our recon attached to our unit may have recovered a body from the air wing. But in the grand scheme of things, the U.S., what are we doing? And at that point, we started to feed the liberation stuff. We're here to help. We're here to liberate.
That's what the sergeant told you?
The sergeant major did.
Yeah.
So then, wait a minute, though. What happened to weapons of mass destruction, though? You were with me, Charlie. We went to that stadium. We went to so many different sites.
I got killed at that stadium, dude.
We did.
Almost got torn in shreds, man.
Yeah. BBC guys.
Yeah, the fucking BBC. We're there. We get intel that there's weapons of mass destruction hidden in the soccer stadium. So we go there. It's bullshit. We beat the Flintstones over there. Although they're bad motherfuckers, they just didn't have the weaponry anymore. And the BBC wants to go live, right? Except all the guns took off. So the only thing left is the clown cart. I called it the clown cart, which was the media, the embedded media. And the fucking media is treating it like it's a scene, like it's a Hollywood movie. We're live here in the middle of the soccer stadium and the weapons of mass destruction. And all of a sudden, here comes the village. and they're starting to close in, and they're starting to pull on the truck, and they're starting to shake the truck, and well, I don't even know what I said. Get the fuck in the truck. This isn't a joke. But Tommy,
yeah.
Tommy, how many tours did you do over there? I want to talk. Go ahead.
I did three altogether.
You did 3 tours of Iraq.
Yeah.
Okay, I know this. They put you at a checkpoint, didn't they? Remember that?
Yeah, I was at a checkpoint.
Remember the car bombs?
Yeah.
Did you ever have like a group of women or children, something like? Did you waste somebody?
No, it came close though.
Tell me about it.
Because, like, when you have a group of women come through, it's so sketchy because you're trying to respect their culture, but at the same time, you're trying to look out for yourself and everyone else at that checkpoint. I mean, under that dress, you don't know what they have. So if someone starts making all these movements, you pay attention to this. So someone who's really got nothing to hide just kind of sits there and they're waiting for direction. But when you have people making all these movements, and you kind of get nervous. It happens. It comes with the territory.
But
so we're all sitting there, and this group of women comes through. I mean, they didn't end up having anything, but you don't know that until after the fact. So they
Tommy,
come through.
this was serious though, wasn't it? Didn't you feel at that point in time that you were doing something that meant something?
You know, Charlie, you feel like you are, because at that point in time, it's weird because you don't start thinking about why we're doing it. When you're put in that position, it's more yourself and everyone around you is as priority.
But you know what? I'll tell you, but Tommy, if you didn't have the guts to go there, to take that job, like some fat slob that couldn't get your job, doesn't it make you feel that, you know, you are doing something that is valuable?
Yeah, but that's where the sense of pride comes in, what Charlie had mentioned about his stepfather and that segment on Fox News. That's where the sense of pride comes in. And that's where patriotism comes in, because you do want to feel like you're doing something. And don't get me wrong, I will never talk bad about the Marine Corps. Hell, if I could have stayed in, I would have. I would have done the full 20 and then some. I do not regret it one day in my life. I think it helped shape me and mold me into the person I am today.
But, you know, Tommy, my thought on it, you know, I'd like to feel in a little way I served, you know. I'll go. I'll do it. But here's a whole different matter. When it comes down to, you got to level that barrel at some people, some women. You don't even know how to say stop in Arabic, and they don't know what stop means in English, right?
Right.
It's no longer at that point a sense of like the national mission. It's just surviving you and your guys, right?
Right.
And I just remember, man, the truck we had, the Humvees that were there was no armor on those things.
No.
That was
the first wave.
It was such an ill thought out thing. And I'm a patriot, and I will give my life for this country. I will. I have no doubt about it, no qualms. But if you're going to send my brothers, my sisters, my cousins, my countrymen, you better have a fucking plan, and it better not change 2 weeks into the deal. Because remember we're going over that hill, and we're going to take on the 10th Mechanized Republican Guard, the elite tank unit. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we get over the hill, and it's a ghost yard of tanks, and there's nobody there.
Yeah.
And we're convoying back, and there's about 100 young, rugged-looking men in clean clothes with a white flag above their head. And I said to the colonel, I said, "Sir, you know who those guys are, right?" And he goes, "Yeah, we're not here we're here to liberate. We're not here to occupy." And I said to him, "This thing hasn't even started."
Nope, and it hasn't.
And now here we are, because we uncorked the genie in the bottle. Iran, we're back again. And this whole segment is, now it's serious, because Syria, right, Yemen, Libya, all of it. We uncorked the genie, and we don't have anybody to mop up the mess.
Whose fault is that? Whose fault that we don't understand the politics of this part of the world? Whose fault is
I want
it?
to ask the soldier who did a good portion of his life. I mean, I don't want to know about fault, but Tommy,
Yeah.
who did it? I mean, go listen. Everybody's listening to you, man, because they have me on Fox News, but they should have you on Fox News. So we're all listening.
Okay, so military and all that put aside, so to go with the title, no bullshit, we did it.
Oh.
We empowered a dictator to take over and run this place, and then we said, no, you're not doing this right. We're going to come in, and well, we're going to leave you now, and then everyone and their brothers run through the borders.
And now there's a scramble for who's the next dictator, right?
Yeah. Oh, but by the way, you got ISIS running through there.
Oh,
by the way, Iran's running through there. So
what the fuck?
So wait a minute. Let's step back though. When Saddam was in power, dictator that he was, and okay, so he had harsh methods. That country was in check, wasn't it?
I didn't have no problem with it.
But we don't like it. But wait, there's weapons of mass destruction, so there's another thing we don't like. So let's just go in there and kick his ass.
Well, I think that was like, if you look at it, like George Bush 1 was real politic, real dude. He was a smart guy, head of the CIA and whatnot. He knows Cold War's over. We've armed Saddam to shell the Iranians and the Ayatollah. It's done. We need to disarm you. We need to take those oil fields, and we're smart enough not to go into Baghdad, right? No fly zone.
Yep.
And then, Clinton does nothing. The threat grows. We get Osama bin Laden. I live in New York. They torched my neighborhood. I want Osama bin Laden's head. I will admit that. We should have done that. We finally did that. But I didn't understand why we were going into Baghdad. I never did. But I loved you. I wanted to be there with you because it was my honor, bro, to put your name in history because you're my, you're the guy I played football against. You're the guy that does the work. We're the guys and the gals that do the work.
No, I respect that, and I thank you for that.
Did I do you honorably?
You did. You did.
I hope so.
You did. You did.
So you came home, man. Go ahead.
Let's go back to what you were just saying with New York and Ground Zero, right? So when all that happened, you're right. Why did we go messing around in Baghdad when we knew where we needed to be originally?
Right. And I think you know this as a Marine. We had Osama bin Laden surrounded at Tora Bora. Remember Tora Bora?
Sure do.
And we sent in what? 2,000 troops? Why did we send in 10,000 troops? He escaped. And then he's living in Pakistan, to which we're sending so much money that could save Detroit. Or the Baghdad Fire Department. I don't know if you ever saw that. I did. Man, that thing is modern. Way modern than ours. That's the shit.
They got to put out all them oil fields, man.
Oh, man. Oh, dude. Okay. Here. The oil fields are on fire. Okay. I'm out there with a general. Motherfucker pulls out his cock and starts pissing in front of me. That's part one. Part two, a Bedouin, like the roaming people of the desert. Guy pulls up on a camel wearing a blue blazer and a silver watch. Okay, he's a sheik and he's a big deal, right? And he says in Arabic and then in English, he says, food. Give him some food. Water. We give him some water. And then he says, cell phone? So I bet he was downloading porn. Because the world's connected. And if I was them dudes, excuse me, let me clean up my English. This wine's working, Charlie.
Good. Keep it going.
If I were those dudes, I'm not having anybody invade my country either. I'm fighting, right? Nobody's invading the United States. I'm fighting. So that's what we sent you into. I don't blame the douchebag for playing, Fortnite, right, and talking to everybody on the phone. It's for fun. But when we need you people out there, where are you?
Yeah.
We can't have Tommy doing 3 tours. And then, Tommy, you came home. Did you try the VA?
Yeah, of course.
How was that,
Of
bro?
course.
I bet that was great.
Dude.
Did you get good
Can't
treatment?
even describe. Cannot even describe how fun it was.
Go on real quick. Hit us.
Yeah, and by fun, I mean it was miserable. At the time, you can't get. I went in there after getting out. You can't get answers from anybody. The people that were working there, it didn't seem like they wanted to be there or help you in any means. So when you finally do get an answer, which is usually the wrong answer, you're running around doing something you never needed to do to begin with.
So you were medically discharged, right?
Yeah, I was. They medically retired me after 11 years of honorable service.
So injured.
Yeah.
If you want to tell us what it is, I know it's personal. You don't have to, but
Yeah, so it's ulcerative colitis, which is like Crohn's disease, and they said it was from being stressed out. That's what it kicked everything all into gear. I mean, okay, maybe, but
you're no pussy. You're like, just your ass was on fire.
Yeah. But with that being said, though, it's like every 10 minutes you're just going, and they're saying no stopping it.
And you didn't get the treatment that we're all paying for and want you to have.
I don't even know what that treatment is, to be honest with you, because I don't even know if any veteran does.
Tommy, how old are you?
I am 36 years old, Charlie.
Wow.
And you got PTSD, man?
I think everybody kind of does. We just don't openly talk about it.
We'll leave it at that. Well, there's a bright side.
I'll go and talk about it. There was one time this ex-girlfriend I had. We were sleeping in bed, and in my dream, Charlie, believe it or not, I was thinking back to the stadium in the village, and everyone just coming after us, and imagine like this little kid grabbing on my magazine and trying to pull my rifle off of me, and then just started swinging, and I ended up punching her in the back of the head. She wakes up going, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." Like, I can't even tell you what happened because I don't even know if you believe me. And we went right back to bed like nothing happened. This time I socked her in the face because I was dreaming I was fighting one of the interpreters at a truck yard that was shuttling supplies back and forth across a different area of operation. So, I mean, yeah, there's going to be a level of PTSD, I think.
All that stuff that was in your dreams really did happen in life, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it did.
There's other stuff.
I don't know if you remember this, but I remember when we got back on that truck and Captain McSweeney that was with us, when we were doing our little after action, I'm pretty sure we talked about this because we got close then. And I mean, that's how we stayed in touch. So look at us now. But I'm pretty sure I told you I remember someone grabbing on the magazine of my wife, and I didn't like that. That's when you started helping out, saying, "Let's go, we got to go," because they weren't listening. The BBC guys, they didn't care.
No. Didn't I give you a battlefield promotion? Because
you did.
I did. Reporters
You did.
in Iraq were to be considered the rank of major, and so I got the sir, and I'm, Tommy, I think you got a lot in you, so I gave him a battlefield promotion to lieutenant, and I informed the colonel. He's been promoted to lieutenant. The colonel said to Tommy, "I thought you were smarter than that."
Hey, Tommy, can I just ask a question? Scott, what do you think about bringing back the draft? Everyone in high school, when you graduate from high school, that summer, everybody does a basic training. The whole, fat or not, you just 3 months, 2 months, whatever it may be. We can set the timeline.
Like the Israelis.
Yes, like Swiss. A lot of countries do this. What do you think that would do for this country as far as patriotism, respect for what you do in the military, etc.? What do you think?
So that's kind of there's a two-sided point on that one, right, Charlie? Because one, there's going to be your veterans like myself who are going to be all for that. Then there's going to be your bleeding hearts and your mothers of America who are going to say, "Hell no, my kid's not doing that." Okay, but then I asked that mother, "Well, what is your kid doing now?" granted, you don't want your son or daughter to go, but now you have this obese kid who's, like Charlie said, a joystick controller gamer. What was that, Charlie?
Yeah. That's it, pretty much.
Yeah.
Fake
Yeah,
death,
so-
death for entertainment.
I think,
so
I think the peer pressure alone would, in your junior year or sophomore year, would say, if you're fat, you're going to have to do your basic training. You're not going to be able to do it. Shape up now. I think that would do wonders.
Or,
I don't know.
this wine's working. But watch this. Here's the thing that it could also do. The military is the great equalizer in this country. It broke segregation barriers. It broke sexual barriers, gender barriers. I think it's an opportunity where we're all in this together, where you meet others from other places within your very vast country, and it could have, a mediating effect on all the issues we're having. And in fact, it'll make you stronger. The military does make you sharper, and I think veterans, I really do. I've always said this. This isn't new. I think if you're a vet and you served, your vote should be 1.25. You get like 1/4 of an extra vote for your service to maintain the union, not just because you're some fat ass eating Doritos and killing for fun. Because when I was over there, it wasn't fun. It was really scary, and I met a lot of guys who lost their girlfriends or their children were being born, or you're laying in a basically a mud hut, and snipers firing in on you, and they're asking,
indirect fire.
and your superior officers are asking me how the country feels about what they're doing, and I gotta lie to them and say we support you 100%, because it's no longer, once you're there, it's no longer about what the country thinks. It's about just holding on to your life.
Yeah.
All right,
Don't forget the level of discipline you get with it too. Like, I
because you're
know
doing well now, right?
A lot of benefits.
Yeah, but and again, though, I think anybody who goes in the military is going to get a level of discipline, and they're going to get that. Well, I'm not just going to settle. If you just settle, to me, that's someone who's not military minded. They just did it because they had to, not because they wanted to. And I wanted to go. I wanted to earn that title, because given the title of Marine, you have to earn it. You don't just you graduated. You're now a soldier. That's not how the Marine Corps works.
A soldier is you go to the Army. A Marine is that's the Harvard of military.
Right. Well, so everyone says, and
no offense to those in the Army.
Right.
Shout out to my brother Frankie, first Cav baby.
We love you, Frank. No, but seriously, Marine Corps boot camp is 13 weeks long. So that's 3 months of long, intense training. And when I mean intense training, you guys, people yelling at you is nothing like what these drill instructors do to you. They literally break you down and build you up. So if you accept that because that's what you're wanting to do, that's going to help build your character, help you build your career. And then when you get out, it's going to stay with you because it's already embedded in you, and it's going to help you be successful.
Did you make your bed this morning?
Actually, I tore it apart from getting a new one.
You didn't make your bed, Marine. You guys are
it's all in the wash.
You guys are freaks, by the way, man. They dig 4 holes, right? Is it 4 or 3 holes, dude, out there? 1 for shaving, 1 for brushing your teeth, 1 for pissing, and 1 for shitting. Is that right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, and if you do the wash your face in the toothbrush, they yell at you. If you piss in the shit hole, they yell at you. So it's very
very disciplined. Very disciplined.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey,
well,
Tom.
because I mean, think of it.
He's like, oh yeah.
Your piss gets soaked up. Shit, you got to burn unless you're covering it up.
And dude, drinking out of what was the coolest thing with those osmosis bladders, where you could take the ditch water.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
See,
believe it or not,
yeah,
I think that was some of the best water I've had. Maybe
it was
good. I got
good.
used to it. Yeah, I loved it.
Oh, and by the way, for all you partiers on the beach this summer, here's a great military trick. If your beer's warm, Put it in a sock, like your stocking, like on your foot. Put it in there. Wet the sock. And when the water evaporates, it pulls the heat out of the beer and makes it cold. True, Tommy?
You remember that, huh?
Fuck yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good
See
one.
what you learn when you go and be in the military? These are things everybody should know.
See, that's a
Yeah,
kid.
we would hang them off of the mirrors on the truck as we're driving.
That's good stuff.
And that chicken cacciatore was to die for, man. Those MREs.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was the best.
And they gave you coffee, but no way to heat it.
Yeah, and sometimes your Tabasco bottle was dried up too.
I still got a bunch of those with sand in them, man. All right, let me do this. You come back on, Tommy. You be our military correspondent.
Yeah, I can do that for you, Charlie.
We're building a show. Well, you do it for yourself. You got 50,000 people listening to what a real man does in life.
Yeah, I can do that for you.
Okay. Yeah, it's
For myself.
There's no
for
pay,
you.
but we'll send you a Coney kit.
And a T-shirt.
Awesome.
And that's it, brother. 102
That's
years
me.
old.
Yeah.
All right, listen, we got to move on. We got to get Chicken Joe because this guy's a bitch. If he doesn't get on, he chirps. It's good to hear you, bro.
Hey, Tommy, good talking to you.
Yeah, Charlie. We'll have to get together one day and we'll all drink wine and do this.
Okay, but you're buying this time.
Yeah, we can do that.
See, I mean, because, dude, you get 10% off at Arby's, and you get to get on the airplane first, and there's no place for my luggage. So, come on, it's time to pay back.
Yeah, I'll buy you lunch.
All right, I love you, man. Talk to you later.
Love you guys. All right, I'm out.
Okay, later, brother.
Bye.
All right, Tommy.
Yeah, where are we? Good dude, right?
Good guy.
He's sharp.
There's those stories all
One of
day
the best we got.
Wow.
You know what I mean? All right, listen. Up next is Chicken Joe, the 59-year-old intern, who is brought to you by ADR Consultants. ADR Consultants providing full business, construction management, and IT consulting services for your company, municipality, and law enforcement agency. ADR, experienced, overseeing more than $250 million in private and public construction projects since 2001. Need to reduce costs? Need to re-engineer processes or find better vendors? ADR can save clients, has saved clients millions of dollars. ADR Consultants are experts in procurement, compliance, and minority participation. Honest, ethical, smart. Call Barry Ellen Tuck at 248-318-9424 for a consultation. Get the job done right, on time, on budget. ADR Consultants, 248-318-9424. Highly recommend the man. He's a very honorable guy. If you're in trouble with your project, call Barry Allen. I'm serious.
That's good.
For real. Okay. Joe, Chicken Joe's on the line. Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Hey, Joey, we got any Hey Joe or the chicken dance either?
Hold on.
Because this
on the phone.
Joe, what are you doing again?
Oh, there you are. Okay, now can you hear me?
Okay.
Hello? Hello? Oh, man. Here we go, kid.
Hey, Joe. Yeah, I heard you put your chicken suit on. Hey, Joe. You gave that hooker $20 and she got gone. To my old lady. You know I blew up her house when I tapped into the gas. Hey, Joe, you dressed up in that rubber suit and they whooped you in your ass. And I spanked him. Hey, Joe?
Yeah.
What's up, man?
Man, we're out here tearing apart fucking 18-wheeler trucks, man.
You're under the
Sometimes
truck?
I think I work for chaps. Man.
Are you under the truck again today, Joe?
I'm in the cab. I'm trying to take apart the dashboard, recover instrument clusters, and all that kind of
Working, man.
stuff.
Working hard.
There's a guy underneath the truck with a torch trying to burn it down while I'm in there.
Joe, what the fuck, man? The truck's not the news.
Huh?
Eh?
It's a dangerous job.
Somebody got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it.
People don't take this junkyard job seriously.
Oh. Hey, listen, Joe. So listen, what'd you do? What'd you do this week?
Well,
Bring us up to speed.
Second hearing.
Let me cut. County Treasurer Eric Sabri, who has tax foreclosed on tens of thousands of people, is accused of setting up friends and family in violation of the county rules, and now he's got a full-blown ethics investigation. Is that correct?
That's correct. Although I feel sorry for both him and the ethics panel, because the ethics panel doesn't seem like they've ever been through this before. They don't know what their job is, what their authorities are. And most of the time they spend consulting with their lawyer about what exactly are their
Now,
powers
see,
and
that's
duties.
news, Joe. So what you're saying is the ethics panel is a bullshit kangaroo wallpaper.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I don't want to throw it too far under the bus.
You're under the bus. So look under there for the
bus.
ethics.
Dude, I got the permanent apartment.
I do the yelling here.
Well, this is probably their first ethics hearing. I don't know. It just seems that way.
Okay,
and
look.
I kind of feel bad. If you listen to Sabri on the tape, he sounds like a broken man. I feel sorry for him, man.
Well, let's listen to him right now. This from Chicken Joe, who is our Johnny on the Langton.
Yeah.
Did Fox 2 cover the ethics hearing?
No.
I don't think
No, we didn't.
any TV.
No.
But No Bullshit News Hour, Chicken Joe in a chicken outfit did.
I'd like to hear this.
This is a crack staff right here. Okay, let's
Saturday is my wife.
Shut up, Joe. I can't hear the treasurer.
I'm working. You be quiet. Hold on a second.
Okay, go ahead and play this one. Joe's getting his ass busted by Anthony.
Saturday is my wife. It's one person.
So you knew your wife?
I knew that she was participating in the auction because she didn't register she didn't register as a bidder. She was looking at the properties that were going for sale, and then a real estate company that was already registered. She was interested. She said, "Well, if you find anything in Harper Woods or area, let me know." So that's how I knew she was participating in the auction. And then when she decided to buy the properties, the deeds were put into the company's name that she owns since 2006.
So you're saying she didn't directly participate in the bidding process? She had someone else bidding for her.
Right. But I admit that the rule said that indirectly or directly. So I admit to that. She participated.
Well, Mr. Spring, you said you would talk to us after you did your answer, and you did your answer. So how about a word? Do you think you've been treated fairly here today?
Joshua Van Burko?
Not today.
Hey, Joe.
Is he still here?
Oh, thank God he's gone.
Hello?
Oh, shit.
What's up?
Why first of all, before we get into the meat of the matter, why was the sound so bad?
out.
The battery's out, Joe.
Yeah.
Is that Anthony?
That's Anthony.
Let me talk to Anthony.
Anthony!
Yo!
Charlie wants to talk to you.
Yo, Tony!
Hey.
So while he's busy with Anthony, Charlotte, you know Sabri.
Yeah.
How do you know him?
Just know him. I don't have any
Legal circles?
Legal circles, yeah. I've done a couple things with him over the past. I knew him when he was with the city of the county before he became treasurer. Don't know him super well.
Legally speaking, what do you?
That guy Langton too.
Legally speaking, what kind of trouble Sabri in?
Anytime you have a family member doing anything for which you have control over, I think it's wrong. His argument, Eric Sabri's argument, is he said under the ethical rule at the time, he contracted out an independent organization.
He's doing gobbledygook. Yes, gobbledygook.
It's gobbledygook.
Okay, so should he resign?
No. I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
I think he should resign.
No, I don't think so. I think what's the penalty for the crime that he committed? I think he did do something that was improper. However, on those bids, you still have to go online and you have to be the highest bidder.
Well, don't forget,
So,
his family didn't pay property taxes, and they
That's a
somehow
different
did.
issue. That's a
I
different
know,
issue.
but it's another issue, and he didn't foreclose on it.
Well, he's going to have to, the county, he's going to have to run.
And he's also the chairman of the board of directors of the land bank, in which they were giving the primest properties to no bid developers who sold the property and pocketed it. So there's a whole mess going on.
So on the issue of whether his wife should participate in the auction, that's wrong.
Okay.
I
It's
think
wrong. He's
disagree.
not gonna resign.
I disagree with his interpretation of the law, but that's just me. Well, let's see what the ethics board comes up with.
Yeah.
That's a big issue. But even if he's wrong on that one, is it worthy of him losing his job? I'm not sure it's that
The
bad.
treasurer's office stinks.
I'm just saying that's a bad thing.
But
You
does
have
the
to be-
treasurer's office stink? You're a reporter. and a
I
lawyer.
asked him that. I said, does it smell bad? And he gave me some gobbledygook answer. It does smell a little bit bad, but it doesn't stink. So he's going to lose his job.
It stinks to freaking high heaven. I'll tell you
bad.
what.
I'll agree with you. It's
You know,
bad.
you know who I met this week? I was writing for DeadlineDetroit.com. I'm not dead. I'm doing journalism. Next week's news today.
Yes.
I'm profiling a 16-year-old kid trying to make his way, falls on his sword. His mom's having hard financial times. He goes all the way to the east side, moves in with a relative. Joe, I'm talking. A well-wisher who likes what this kid's made out of sends me $500 for him. I give him the $500. We go to meet his mom. He finds out his mama is going to be evicted, foreclosed on $1,600 in mortgage payments, okay? She's been paying on the house for 10 years, $19,000 mortgage. Her total note she's paid so far, $36,000. See the advantage being taken of when you don't quite know your numbers?
Yeah.
Right? Hey, kid, get off the couch, study.
Right.
He turns the $500 over to his mom because he's one of ours. We want this kid to succeed. It's sad. Look, I'll put it this way. The trailer park and the ghetto, I lied. I want to say this. The ghetto, and I'm not forgetting the trailer park, is so adrift.
Yeah.
There's not much being done for it.
Right.
We sent $750 billion to help poor people keep their homes. 80% of poor people in Michigan, for whatever reason, weren't allowed to access this money. Treasury's upset about that. We took $250 billion of that money, demolished houses in Detroit. You know where that's gone. It's a federal grand jury. And a good woman and this young kid, they don't understand the discontent. It's fucking crazy.
It's crazy. It's hard to understand a lot of the very complicated stuff.
Yes, this is what we're asked to do.
Yeah.
So
we got to. That's why we have to.
So a
explain
bottle
it
of
to
wine and an hour later.
Right.
Yeah, we want to be interesting, but we want to report these things.
We've got to be able to. But we got.
And you're not a liberal.
No,
I'm not a liberal either.
I play it down straight down the line.
I'm a human. Well, I'm just a human.
Yeah, me too. I don't know labels, but you have to explain this stuff. You have to understand this stuff, though. I think what Eric Sabri did, though, is that he should come up and say, "I made a mistake," and I'm not totally sure he said that.
That would be good. That's a
it
good
would be
start.
A good start. I agree.
And they did suspend that program where the connected developers
is that right?
got to pocket the dough.
Oh, good. That's
power
good.
to
That's
the
good.
press, power to the people.
Good. That's good. That's
because this shit's gonna burn.
Yeah.
I'm telling the economy's not good. You know that, right?
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, you go from Sterling Heights to Royal Oak to Detroit to Brown, right? You see,
I go all over the place.
Tell me this thing's healthy.
I think there's a lot of people that need work.
Yeah.
Jobs are key in this country.
Decent wages.
Don't mess with my job.
Yeah, I need
That's
some
the
green.
thing.
That's the color.
I know. And so if people are cheating the government or they're getting some advantage where they shouldn't, that's a problem.
Well, then I need to say this. That's true. But what about the government cheating us? That is true.
Yeah.
That's become a fact.
I know.
And if they don't stop it,
it's gonna be your next book.
It's right here. Shit show. Hey, Joe.
Another book.
Yeah.
Where's Joe?
Hello.
Where's Anthony?
He's out there trying to get the cab off this truck.
All right.
I got a beef with your boy Charlie Langton too, man.
You got a beef with Langton. Hurry up. We're running along here.
When we were in that casino place talking to the Governor Whitner, and everything. I was
Wait a
talking
minute.
to him
It's
face to
called a
face,
casino,
he's-
and her name is Whitmer, not Whitner. Just
well, whatever it is,
You're our
I was talking to
correspondent.
Charlie.
Right.
I was talking to Charlie Langton face to face, and he stood there and let them security people snatch me out of there right from in front of him. He didn't even say, "Hey, wait
He's
a minute,
not
I'm
your
talking to-"
father!
But I mean, we
Joe.
were having a conversation, man. How's he going to let them guys just
But
snatch
Joe,
me
don't
out
talk
of
to
there?
me. Talk to the governor. Talk to Whitmer. She ran out of there. She didn't talk to anybody.
Dude, we just did a segment while you were under the truck, God bless you, of personal responsibility, a man being a man and handling his business. Don't blame it on Langton. Nothing happened to you.
Joe, I've seen you in action. You're all right. You get in there.
He
You
does,
do what
right?
you can do.
You hear that,
You're
Joe?
okay. You're okay, Joe.
Yeah.
You hear that, Joe? Joe's getting famous.
He's very famous.
Joe, you hear that?
Matt Phillips is your biggest fan, by the way. Joe, you know Matt Phillips, who produces a lot, does a lot for this show.
Yeah.
Matt Phillips, Joe, is your biggest fan. And he was talking, because I knew you were upset because for whatever reason you thought I prevented you from getting the interview with Whitmer.
Joe's
It's not the
perverted
case.
world, yeah.
I know, it's okay, though. But anyway, Joe, I've seen you in action over there. You just keep on doing what you're doing there.
Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, Joe.
You just keep on going.
All right.
You hear that? That's from a pro. Now listen, Joe, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Don't go to an ethics meeting for 4 hours and come back with 45 seconds of tape.
Well, I had almost 7 minutes.
I know, I had to cut it. It was all garbage. It's garbage.
There you go.
And the
Who
45
cut the tape
seconds.
down?
It was like I was listening through some crinkly saran wrap.
Because I had everything that you had said you wanted before. Me talking to people, getting their point of view, the people saying their minds to the thing, and what happened at the thing, the dude confessing. I wasn't even going to use any of the audio from the actual meeting, but when I started going through it and hearing this dude confessing, I'm like, wait a minute, this is what we need right here. And lo and behold, that's the only part you used.
Wacka, 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 whack. After playing all day, wacka, 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 whack. It was 45 seconds.
But
Wacka,
I got
wacka, wacka,
all
whack.
the
And it
elements that
sounded
you
like
said you
this.
wanted. Oh my
And it
God.
sounded like this. Then 4 hours. Got 45 seconds. Wacka, wacka, whack. And cut. Thanks for your hard work, Joe. I will say this. The real ballers in the foreclosure world, the people real smart, the Pfaffendorfs and the Housing Coalition people, really appreciate your presence at this because you're keeping an eye on it. 9-year-olds love you. They want to know what Chicken Joe's thought about all this. Give us one sentence. What do we tell the 9-year-olds about what you saw this week?
That's a good question.
Stumped
Just
you,
trying
didn't
to hold elected officials accountable to what they were elected for, and keep them clean.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Talk to you in 2 weeks. I'm going to Poland, Holmes.
All right,
Bye,
have
Joe.
fun.
Good talking to you, Joe.
Good work, Joe.
Good talking to you too, Mr. Langton.
Oh, Joe,
Have a
one
good
more
weekend.
thing. What's next?
Yeah.
What's next?
What's next is June 9th, be another hearing.
Are you going to be there?
I'm gonna be there.
You
I'm
have
gonna
to
be there for sure.
Okay. Now, I want you to bust
Right.
balls this time. Don't tape the whole meeting. Tape a little bit of it. Find what's the interesting point. Wait for the guy outside the meeting and drill him with questions. Okay?
Joe, you
well,
can do it.
that's what
Joe,
I did.
you can do it.
and, Right.
right.
And if Lincoln was there, I could follow his example.
Yeah, and you'd blame him for everything. All right, go back to work, Joe. Tell Tony I said hi.
All right. All right, later.
Bye, Joe.
Have a good weekend.
All right, you too.
Yeah.
bro. All right, folks. I'm in Poland next week, where the the shit show, the country's collapsing, the ratings are great, will be released. Detroit there is a bestseller. Wow. I'm very happy to go. You want to get the book? Just go to nobsnewshour.com and I can sign it for you. Charlie, thanks for being here, man.
This is very fun. I had a great time.
It's a good show.
Great time. Very good time.
Really good show.
Yeah. Tommy and Joe, and it's good stuff.
Yeah, and you. For sure, you, man. You're the man. You want to get another glass of wine?
I might.
Yeah, let's go get a glass of wine after this. Because I get to hang with Charlie Langton. Right? What do you think, Joey?
Yeah, sounds good.
Joe, oh, yeah, and I'm going to get you lunch. And thank you so much for filling in for Bob.
It's been great.
And we might have to replace Bob. He's in Africa. He can't hear this. We like to take people out with music, right?
Yeah.
This one is the 16-year-old's mother. Her name is Rashida Bennett L. The 16-year-old's name is Jordan. And these are just sounds from the porch in Detroit. We are a beautiful people. We got a lot of talent, a lot of culture. And this is why I love being a reporter in the Motor City. Yeah? Right, Charlie?
Don't ever leave.
Don't ever
leave.
I'm not gonna.
Go to Poland for a week or two, but come back.
Yeah, and listen, leave the headphones on. And this is just a cappella. It's just beautiful. And as we like to wrap up the show, remember, try to love one another. And if you can't, find the beauty.
Beautiful.
See you in a few weeks.
Some people live for the fortunes, and some people live just for the fame, and some people live for the power, yeah. Some people live just to play these games, and some people think that the physical things define what's within. And I've been there before. That life's a bore so full of the superficial. And some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, and some just want everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you, yeah. There you go. Well, that's it for today. I ain't got you with me, baby.
Oh, we're a beautiful people.
Beautiful.
Thanks for your service, Tommy, Frankie, everybody else. God bless America.